Dom, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you too. How are you doing?
Pretty darn good. Yourself?
Awesome. I'm a little tired. The week's been hectic trying to get things together for Thanksgiving, but
Yep, yep.
other than that, fine.
Well, I've been working straight through, but today after I finally woke up from my night shift, I finally am getting into the Thanksgiving mode, and um, we uh, we have a Thanksgiving movie to discuss. So
Indeed, we do.
this one was a recommendation by a good friend, Dave Bosley, otherwise known as the Boz, and this is a movie that Boz truly loves.
Well,
so
good.
and loves showing to other people and getting other people to watch. So I'm going to let you do the intro because I'm sure you did a little research, such as it would have been on this.
Oh
But
yeah. Well, so I'll give the bare bones because the movie is, I mean, it's almost ad lib all the way through.
yeah,
Uh, I think the people that made this had a concept for what they wanted to do, and props to them. They carried it through,
yeah,
but it's not like they did a whole lot of planning or
yeah.
much of anything for this one.
Well,
Uh,
I beg to differ. I think they planned a lot, but
you can say that, but I'll link to interviews with
yeah,
them that
yeah,
I've watched.
really, yeah.
Yeah, this
Well,
was shot in
actually,
11 days.
I was gonna say you should put the links when we post the video. I'm gonna have the
Oh yeah.
video. I'm gonna have the video up tonight, but I will have it debut for tomorrow, hopefully early tomorrow for Thanksgiving Day. This is the day before for all people watching. We're doing this on the 27th, and tomorrow is Thanksgiving the 28th. But yeah, we will have it up and available so you guys can listen to our our description of this movie. And we're spoiler alert, so I don't think we could spoil this one.
We can't spoil this one. So on to the movie.
Yes.
Um, the movie features a demonic turkey that's been raised by a Native American curse
Yeah.
and wreaked havoc on the pilgrims back during an early Thanksgiving, and now has returned to wreak havoc this very day.
I
And
I don't see
it's
how you can actually how you actually fault this movie. It pays tribute for all of the people who are outraged at our colonization of the USA. And this is it's the Pilgrims are getting their comeuppance.
so that behind you is Wanda Lust.
Yes.
And I'll talk more about her later because she has some
Yes.
things to say about this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she is the turkey's first victim, or at least the first victim we see on screen.
Right.
But
Right.
then juxtaposed to present day, and I say present day because this came out in 2009.
Right.
Um, so like what, 15 years ago, and we
Sure.
meet a group of five friends, and they follow the archetypal slasher movie group. There
Yeah.
is the good girl, there's the slut, there's
Huh.
the handsome jock, there's the nerd, and then there's the party animal.
Right. Right.
And so they're friends. They're going to celebrate Thanksgiving together, but they run afoul of this turkey. Sorry, couldn't resist.
I'd like to see that you're in the spirit of this movie. Uh,
Well, I mean, this movie, it's not a great movie. I'm not even going to call it a good movie, but true to my
I think
nature,
I think Boz would be offended by that.
true to my nature, I have to be impressed by the creativity and the artistic effort they put forth in getting this movie made
Right, right.
because they did this literally on a shoestring budget. That is, if you buy your shoestrings for $3,500.
Yeah, yep,
But that was the entire budget for this movie that was filmed in 11 days over summer break
yeah,
because these people were all in college at the time.
right. Well, it's funny because I when I saw when I saw the like some of the opening scenes like this here, I thought to myself, these don't look like college kids. And yes, they were.
They were.
But but no, I actually think the movie has great humor, and it has actually a few firsts in it. Um, and you have to give it credit for that. It has probably the first time that a turkey was actually a killer.
I don't know about that. There's actually a number of movies with turkeys as killers, and I haven't dated them all.
Really? Well, I'd
Yeah,
like
yeah,
to,
yeah. So this may be the first, but I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah. As far as I know, and you have to give credit to who he is. He's Turkey.
Hmm.
That's his name in the movie, and and he actually there he is right there, right there behind me. It also has one of the first scenes where a turkey, and I'm not going to use the words, but there is a there is a scene that's rather disturbing to say the say the least.
To
The
say the
turkey
least.
the turkey kills off the slut's current paramour and proceeds to
Let's just say that the one of the few funny jokes in here is that the turkey was carrying a gravy flavored condom.
right. Yeah, yeah,
I'll
absolutely.
let I'll let our audience imagine the rest.
Yeah, yeah, because I don't want to go into I don't want to go into any details on what exactly is happening, but I think people can figure out that that's what you're like, oh my God, is this actually what I think I'm saying? And yeah, you you actually are. And the turkey actually says something like you've been stuffed or something,
Yeah, yeah.
something like that to her.
But then again, the turkey offers itself up to be used in exchange for a ride.
That's true. That's true. So
So the
fair's
turkey gives
fair.
as good as he gets.
Yes, absolutely. And you know, it's a movie with great friendships too. I mean, these two here, there's their bonding scene at the ice cream shop. Um, but the 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 nice girl's father is a sheriff, and he's a rather strange. Speaking of turkeys, he's actually a very strange dude. Likes to dress up as a turkey a lot around Thanksgiving, and and that's another very disturbing scene with this is the daughter when she does come home. Um, the turkey greets her at the door, and he's wearing the father's face, a la Hannibal Lecter style. So
Mhm.
but there's some hilarious scenes in this that are, you know, it's like it's so bad, but it's also hilarious. But
So that
yeah,
father may be the most famous of the cast members.
is that right?
That is Charles
I
Lamb.
what's that?
That is Charles Lamb.
Charles Lamp. Okay,
You can
name
see him
is
behind me.
yeah, yeah, slightly familiar, but I can't really. If you said to me what roles, I could not.
Oh, he only plays one role, and
Right.
you're looking at him behind me.
Yeah.
His
So
his goal, he's a programmer for an
okay.
insurance company, but his ambition was to be on screen without any acting talent, without any
Right.
acting experience. And so he has played a dead body in hundreds of roles.
Wow. Wow. Really? That's great.
Yeah, this is one of his Instagram shots.
That's excellent. Yeah. No, didn't know it. And but and these are the two college girls in the movie. The girl with the dark hair is the slut, and the girl on the right is the nice girl. And but I've never seen them again in any.
The um the girl with the dark hair is Natasha Cordova, and she has been in The Legend of Cayman. And I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, but La Viuda de Rafael.
Okay.
So she's
Uh,
got probably some of the most acting experience of anyone on this cast. The
yeah.
good girl is Lindsay Anderson, And she also was in the movie Terror Firmer.
Okay, yep. So does it now another question which I didn't even check on this and I meant to, but in your research, did you notice whether this had any affiliation with Trauma? Because Trauma Films,
No, no, a lot of the people on it were big fans of Trauma, and the
yeah,
guy that
you can tell
directed
that.
and wrote it,
Yeah,
yeah,
you could
notes
definitely,
Trauma as an influence, an inspiration.
yeah, yeah, I could definitely see that. And and again, between Trauma Films and also the scene behind me, that's another scene that's a pretty whack scene. The father of the good girl. There's a scene at the start when he's drinking coffee in the kitchen, and he says that to his wife, and she proceeds to show him why and tell him she wants a divorce. Uh, so another crazy. Here's the scene you were talking about with Turkey. After he's revived, how many years later? It's supposed to be like 300 years later. He's re
I think it's 500.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, probably so. Um, and um, and he proceeds to head to the highway and get a ride. Uh, and yes, he does offer himself up, uh, and for the ride in exchange for the ride. But then he proceeds to kill the the driver and take the car. But which starts his rampage. So yeah, it's like I said, it's one of those movies. My first memory of this movie, that's poor Billy getting killed by the turkey, and they're researching how to kill the turkey. But my first experience with this movie was again my friend Boz. Uh, he one Thanksgiving he was over and he insisted we watch this movie and so which we did and it was one of those kind of movies you're sitting there and you're shaking your head and you're laughing and enjoying it at the same time and so my one time a few years later, Boz was over again on another Thanksgiving, and it was actually just it was one of those Thanksgivings we had all been working, and I had him over, and I think me and Boz maybe were doing the cooking, and we invited my brother-in-law over, and he came over. He's somebody that uh, does not like really weird movies at all. You know, Bill, and and
Oh yeah, yep, I do.
yes, and so Bill was sitting there, and he was like, "Well, what are we going to watch?" And Boz goes, "Well, Mike, you know the movie," and so as soon as he said it, we put the movie on for him, and he just sat there going, "What the hell am I watching?" so, so yeah, like I said, it's uh, it's just one of those movies. I think Boz gets great pleasure in introducing people to the movie. So the fact that we're talking about this here and sort of introducing an audience to it, hopefully.
uh, I got to tell you, anyone that would be an audience
Yes.
already knows about this movie. This movie is not, um,
Oh, there's always new indoctrinees.
yeah, but man, they don't need us.
Sure they do. There's a young generation that needs to be introduced to this, and there's old people that have never seen it and need to be traumatized. So so yeah, and I know Boz would agree
Oh,
with me on
I'm not saying there's not a need for introduction, but
right.
given our audience, I think the 30 or so odd other YouTube channels that have talked about that, not to mention the musical that is
Oh
going on
yes, yeah,
around the country, I
yeah,
think there are many people being introduced to
sure.
this.
Sure. But every day, there's always one more added to the yeah, one more added to the mix. I mean, uh,
Now, my question to you and to Boz,
sure.
have you guys seen the sequel?
Yes, actually, it's funny because I was talking with you and I said something about two, And I had forgotten. You actually reminded me when you said it. You said, "Well, there was no two; they just went right to three." Because
Yep.
I own Thanksgiving and I own Thanksgiving three, and but I was forgetting because I said to you I only have one and three, and you said, "Well, there is none," and then it all of a sudden hit me. I remember Boz telling me that when we watched three together, and three is I haven't seen that in a long time, and I probably should have watched it just to refresh my memory. But if my memory is correct, it was even worse.
I did not get a chance to watch three, but for
Yeah.
anyone following along at home, all I have to say is from what I've heard, if you have epilepsy or are prone to seizures, do not watch three.
Wow. Really? Really?
I hear there are several flashing lights and
Huh.
it is quite psychedelic.
Yeah. 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 Wow. No, I don't remember that, but I would not disagree because could very well be. And here's the great turkey, as he is known.
Yeah, so during interviews,
What's
I can't
Thanksgiving
remember if it
three?
was the director or one of the cast members said that they wanted to think of some great like demonic name for this monster,
Yeah.
and they just couldn't. They kept you referring to him as the turkey all throughout the filming, and they finally just said, "You know what? His name is Turkey."
Yeah. Well, why not? That's a perfect name for him. I mean, it certainly is. Yeah, it's it's one of those movies that, as bad as it is, every once in a while, uh, it's especially if I happen to be around Boz, and he goes, "Hey, we need to watch Thanksgiving." I'll go, okay. um, but his
So
I
here's what ruined the movie for me.
yeah, what's that?
It's a really small thing. It's silly. I'm probably the only person that may be bothered by this,
The
but
bestiality?
it absolutely ruined it for me.
Yeah.
No, oddly enough,
Yeah.
early in the movie,
Yeah.
like I want to say the first 15 minutes, they make the only really funny joke that I thought.
I thought there were I thought there were a few.
The one woman who is playing the slut, the
Yes.
woman who is Allie,
Yeah.
is actually saying that she's somewhat of a prude. That's
Right.
kind of hard to get her to bed.
Right.
And her friend, Kristen, says, "Oh, let me see if I can think of it.
Oh, I got it.
You know, your legs are harder to close than the Joan Bennett Ramsey case."
Yes.
And I actually audibly laughed at that. I
Yes.
was by myself, and
Oh
that was
yeah.
funny.
No, that was a great joke. And there's also another. They attempt to one of the nerd guy attempts to tell John Bonet because they actually had a couple of them, but that was the best one.
They do,
And
and they're almost all repeats of that one. And
yeah,
every time they repeated references to Joan Benoit Ramsey,
yeah.
it just ruined it for me. I'm like, you told one good joke and now you've just ruined it.
No, no, I actually like the fact that they kept trying to revisit. They kept,
And again, like I said, it's a small thing. I'm probably the only person that was bothered by it, but it was like, oh, this is just the movie has been ruined.
no, 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 not at all. You're not a true aficionado of this movie, and
Oh, I
that's
never
why
claimed to be an
I,
aficionado of
I
this
think
movie.
I think Boz would agree that if you were a true cult follower of this movie, as Boz is, they're starring Turkey, and that's another thing that was quite rewarding. You get boobs in the first second of the movie, as the Pilgrim Girl runs through the woods, being chased by a maniacal
Yeah,
turkey.
let me talk a little bit about that.
Sure,
Oh, if I get my image up,
yeah,
come on, where is it? There is
is Wanda Lust?
Wanderlust.
Yes, yep.
Yeah.
High
So
praise to her. I
She
drank a
has
glass of Coke.
starred in such films as, oh, where is it? Grannies in Blackland 3 and 4.
Yep.
Older woman, younger men 9 and 11. And MILF does a body good too. So that's the type of movie she usually shoots. She
Yes.
is quoted as saying, of all the things I've appeared in film for, this is the only one I regret. So take that as you will.
Well, I don't know. I heartily thank her for being in the movie and providing us with one of the more rewarding openings of a low budget movie, than you normally get. It's one of the great openings. So yeah, I applaud her.
I was listening to an interview by oh, what's his name again? Jordan Downey, the guy
Yep,
that co-wrote and directed this.
yep,
And we were struggling to figure out like what's our opening scene for the film.
yeah.
Like, what do we do? And I'm asking around, and someone just said, start with a nipple.
Sure. You can never go
And
wrong.
he's like, exactly. He's like, yes, that will be my opening
Yeah,
scene. So
you
the
can't go
first thing
wrong
we
with that.
see,
You
and
you
it's the
absolutely
only nudity in
yeah,
the entire film.
yeah, yep, yep. Well, all I can say is God bless them.
They did that in a public park
Really, really.
without a permit. They didn't ask permission. They just did
Wow,
it.
that makes it all the better. No, it's one of the things that I miss in B movies nowadays. They'll make these movies they're not that great. The one thing that you could always count on with a B horror movie or a B movie period is okay, well, at some point there's going to be some nudity and, a sex scene, some nudity or something like that. So, yeah, it's like one of those rewarding aspects of the old. Like that's why people love a lot of the old 80s drive-in movies because the movies always whatever they subjected you to, there was always those crazy scenes, but it's like Hollywood, take note. We need we need more 80s B movies, but
Oh, I don't think there's any shortage. They're still coming out.
they're still coming out, but they're not the same. It doesn't have that.
Oh, times change.
Yeah, I know, but that wasn't
What
a
brought
good.
the kids in back in the 80s aren't going to do it for oh, what are they called? Oh,
That was
the
one
old
of those.
millennial.
That was one of those coming of age things, though. You went to a drive-in and with your parents or your family, and there's a B movie that pops on as one of the one of the triple movies that's playing, and all of a sudden the kid's sitting there and he's like,
Yeah, but
nudity.
the operative word for that is it was a coming of age thing.
Yeah, well, that's true because the
Things are
internet
different.
is
They're so different.
it's yeah, I know, but the internet's corrupted everybody. I would much rather have the experiences that I think we had growing up where you experience it a little at a time. It wasn't all thrown at you at once. And
Yeah,
but
but
the
let's
internet,
face it, your dad would
yeah,
have said they've ruined it. The B movies have ruined it. The coming of age should have been going out and hunting your first year or something.
yeah,
I
well,
mean, every generation has their idea.
sure, sure, of course. But but hey, I'm old, so I can be cranky and I can go
That is your right. Back
that's
in my
what
day,
yeah, that's one of those things you earn as you get older. You can go, well, darn it. It shouldn't be like that. It should be just like it was when I was a kid.
yeah,
But
there's an age mark for being a curmudgeon. I have not reached curmudgeon age yet.
yeah. Well, I know I've earned the right to it. And most of the time I think most of the time I'm pretty I've got a lot of humor in my personality, so most of the time I'm laughing and joking, but I can be a curmudgeon when I want to be, and I reserve the right to.
So
So
this guy behind me,
yes,
that's Darren, the nerd.
yes,
His real name is Ryan Francis.
really,
Guess
really.
what that is on his face?
Um, I don't know if I want to know, but tell me.
Strawberry jam.
Oh, okay. Actually, not that bad. Not that you know. Usually, when you hear some B horror movie, usually you hear, oh, they mixed up this horrible concoction, and it was, it was like cow's livers and syrup and whatever the hell. But strawberry jam, actually, that's pretty effective. Look at the color version of
Yeah,
that.
they actually had some guy working on their special effects. And again, shoestring budget. But they were saying that for a lot of the blood thing
Yeah.
that he was making up, he made it taste like cinnamon.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. That's actually not bad because when you think of it, I mean, uh, like I said, most of the time you're expecting that whatever was put on their faces and bodies or whatever was probably some foul foul um, concoction of some kind of some kind of rotten uh, just putrid stuff that they
Well, I
mixed
mean,
up in
you
a
remember what the original blood was in the black and whites,
uh oh yeah, usually chocolate syrup. Yeah,
right?
yeah, 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 some kind of chocolate, which in black and white, that's actually a very effective
Oh, it was perfect.
yeah. I mean it worked really well, and it actually I don't know what they used for Psycho, but I'm assuming that's probably what it was. That was one of the more effective and shot in black and white too. Hitchcock got a lot of pushback from the studio because they wanted him. All the studios were shooting in color, and they were furious that he wanted to shoot black and white. And he was like, "No, I know what I'm doing, and I want black and white for the stark."
And he
Uh,
did indeed know what he was doing.
he knew what he was doing. The Hitchcock is the man. But absolutely, and in fact, we're long overdue for a Hitchcock one. I would love to do one like either Vertigo or Rear Window or something like that. But yeah, like I said, uh, that's coming up though, and we've got the whole Christmas season. We're kicking this off, folks, with this is I know this is probably not the not the most loving and sweet and warm, fuzzy versions of
It was a
Thanksgiving.
request.
But yeah, it was a request, and not only that, it was a Thanksgiving request. And furthermore, we did planes, trains, and automobiles last year. There are a number of Thanksgiving ones, and so hopefully in the years to come, if we have the years of doing this ahead of us, we will get more Thanksgiving ones in. And this is just one that's added to under our belts now of at the Thanksgiving movie. But uh, we're going to be heading into the holiday season, so it's going to be interesting to see what we come up with. And and in fact, Dom's pick is going to be the next one, so I'm very interested to see what he picks for his next movie. Whether
Yeah,
it's
so am I. I've actually been giving this quite a bit of thought, and I have not come to a
yeah,
decision on that one.
well, you don't need to. It's not like you've got the big push on you to do it. But so I take it when it comes to rating this movie, um, what are you giving the movie for for your rating?
I'm giving it one thumb up.
Yep,
It is not a great movie, but again, these guys deserve props for actually thinking of an idea and seeing it through.
yeah,
I mean, whether you think it's a good movie or not, it's a complete cohesive story,
yeah.
which there are a lot of people out there that can't even do that.
No, no. I've seen some high budget, very big blockbuster Hollywood movies that I would never watch again. and this is one that I've seen more than once. And as bad as the movie is, I still find it fun to watch. And I'm not saying I want to watch it every year, but I do find it fun to watch. And every once in a while, it actually had been a few years since I saw it again, and I sat there watching it, and I had some laughs. That the John Benet Ramsey jokes were actually cracking me up, and yeah, the best one was your your legs are harder to shut than the John Benet Ramsey case. That was absolutely one of the better jokes.
That was
Um,
gold. That
yes,
was the high point of the movie for
it
me.
really was. It was so funny. But yeah, like I said, there were a few moments that made me laugh, and that was certainly one of them. Uh, but yeah, like I said, I do enjoy it. I enjoyed the silliness of it. Um, it's definitely something that you have to go into it with the right spirit and the right frame of mind, knowing what you're going to be watching. Um,
Yeah, and a few edibles don't hurt either.
that's probably true. That's probably very true. Point taken. Yeah, there was actually I was just watching or reading actually a review of a movie, and a movie that I actually had picked up and purchased, and the person that reviewing the movie said it probably wouldn't hurt to to indulge in some type of imbibement, whether it was booze or something else. But but yeah, probably this one wouldn't hurt. Uh, but
So
at the same time, it's a funny movie.
this guy is Jordan Downey.
Yeah.
He's the director and co-writer of the movie. He interned under Wes Craven.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, and this is him. This photo is a recent photo at an opening night for VHS Beyond,
Wow. Yeah.
where he
Wow.
has he has one of the segments there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, all I can say is it's hey, he's his experience his experiences helped him make a movie that was it definitely has a niche now. I mean, there's people that are probably trying to copy it. There's people that are
Well, the musical.
oh yeah, yeah,
I mean, I can't believe that there's a musical out, and it's already written and produced, and so it's out for multiple troops to
yeah.
reproduce in different towns across the nation.
Right, right. So that in itself is a little bit of a success right there. And the very fact that they made three of these, which that of course that's a lie. We've already talked about that. There's only been the two, but Thanksgiving,
I got to admit that they named their sequel Thanksgiving 3 is another one of their funnier jokes.
yes, they actually have, I think, a good sense of humor. I really enjoy what they do. The cast, you know, it is what it is. It's they struggled a little, but I mean, working with the script that they were working with, and probably they were improvising a lot. But
They were
so
improvising a lot.
yeah. So I mean, and that never helps your acting ability or your. But I think they pulled off what they were doing. I mean, it was all silliness and craziness. I think they pulled it off pretty darn well. So again, like I said, if you're going into this with the right frame of mind, it's um, and he was good as the nerd. He was as good as any nerd in a trauma movie. And if you like trauma movies, uh, I feel like this one, Lloyd Kaufman of the trauma films, I think Lloyd Kaufman would have been, quite proud to see that some filmmakers do a movie that was on par with the stuff he makes. So yeah,
For the short I put up, I almost started it with if you love trauma movies but think they've got too high a budget, have I got the film for you?
Well, that's another thing that I got to give this movie props for. That is an insanely low budget,
Oh,
and
insanely.
it really is. And to have the not only the special effects that they had, but also just the way the movie is shot. I've seen movies that look much worse. They looked like someone had just taken their home video camera and shot the movie. And I've seen a lot of movies that have come out. Um, they'll come out just direct to whatever.
To
You
whatever.
yeah, but whatever the media is, whether it's something I've seen some that like are free to watch on Vudu, say, or Fandango, whatever you want to call it these days. But I've seen ones that they're free to watch with ads, and they're not as well shot as this. So for
So,
whether you like or hate this movie, it's it's well shot. I mean, the photography is quite good.
mhm,
So it's
mhm.
good film. It's good filmmaking in the sense of cinematography. So
I watched this film on Tubi. I watched Thanksgiving Killing on Tubi.
yeah,
Thankskilling 3 is also on Tubi.
yeah,
I love Tubi. We talk about Tubi all the time.
yes, absolutely. Big praise.
There are a lot of films on Tubi I cannot finish. I
Yeah,
finished this one.
yeah. Well, you had
I kind of did. But I
yeah,
mean, I like you said, I've seen way worse. And
yeah,
one of the things that elevates this movie is, as I've said of many other low budget movies in the past, is these guys are having fun. You can tell they're really into what they're doing.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think the sense of humor was definitely there. They even the whole ritual when they're trying to kill the turkey and the turkey ends up going flying into a radioactive dumpster, which I'm not sure who was disposing of radioactive waste in a dumpster, but somehow or other the turkey ends up floating in it and next thing you know he comes back to life. But
Yeah,
yeah,
so
like I said,
that scene, that ending,
yeah,
unplanned.
I'll bet.
They found they found that container with the
Re-
radioactive waste sticker.
Wow, really, really.
Yeah, and they did that on the fly. They weren't even planning on a sequel. They ended it in space just
Wow.
as another joke. And
Yeah,
then later on came back and said, you know what?
yeah. Why not? Yeah. Uh, no, like I said, I give them full props for um, their ability to shoot the movie, especially on that budget. I didn't realize it was that low. I mean, even student films nowadays, usually they're actually looking for a budget, and they actually go out and try to get people, family members,
Yeah, they
friends.
crowdsource, they apply for grants, they do all
Yep.
sorts.
Yeah. So yeah, there's even really low budget student films now usually have quite a budget. So for them to have shot this movie, which was okay, I'm not I'm not trying to say it's uh, greatly shot, but at the
This
same
movie,
time,
it's not a must see. It's not like you could die
yeah.
without seeing this movie and your life will be none the worse for it.
I think for Boz it probably would have been a worse life.
Okay, for most people,
This is true.
for 98% of humanity.
Yes, this is true. But no, like I said, it's a fun movie. Not everyone's gonna get it or want to. Some people would put this on and within the first few minutes go, okay, I can't watch this. But if you've got a sense of humor, if you like trauma movies, um, if you like movies that are just absolute crazy, silly, fun things, you might get a lot of enjoyment out of this.
And you kind of have to like horror
Yeah,
because a lot of what makes this movie work are just horror tropes that have been around for decades.
sure, sure. Yeah, a lot of a lot of the scenario in this, it's your standard thing of, how someone is going to die, the routine of which ones are going to last, which ones are going to get killed. It's like the resident slut girl. She's going to die, and because she's having sex with a turkey. But I'm trying to keep from saying that, and somehow I
You
I
know, I'm
always
not going to
fail.
say it either,
Yeah.
but that scene, it's in the musical.
Uh, that's that's terrific. I
Yep.
I love that they preserved that movie or that scene. Uh, but yes, um, this scene, to tell you the truth, of all the scenes in the movie that that I found probably the most disturbing was when the turkey comes out to talk to the good girl, and he's wearing her father's face, and she's actually thinking, "Oh, it's Daddy," and she's talking to him. So yeah, that is hilarious. And so like I said, there were scenes that like you'd watch and you'd go, "Oh my God." But yeah, like I said, it's got a sense of humor. I think it's definitely funny. And this scene here, because the father was so weird, and this scene here when the turkey's sitting down with him and they're having coffee together, um, that scene in itself was bizarre. But he should have been Sheriff Bizarre. But yeah, like I said, I have to say, it's been more than once that I've seen this, and I've enjoyed it every time. So that in itself is high praise for what it is. So those are my thoughts on it. I don't know that I could give it two thumbs up, um, but I will
Even
give it a
you.
but I will give it one large thumbs up. So, and I definitely liked the movie. And hey, boobs in the first second.
This
So,
is true.
oh, and one other thing, and I keep forgetting to say this, but one of the things I was reading about this, the original turkey model that they had for
Yeah.
the thing running around had these little spindly legs on it. And I guess they decided, yeah, that's not going to work. And so they remodeled what they were using for turkey because the legs were like these little thin, spindly legs. And it kind of cracked me up that they actually like, you know, sat there thinking, well, nah, we want legs that are more realistic or whatever. But but yeah, like I said, they thought of they they thought of it like they were doing a movie that was, they were trying hard to make a movie that worked for them.
Oh
So
yeah. I have to give more. I have to give two thumbs up to the people that put this together.
yeah, yep, yep. I thought everything worked. I thought the low budget actors that were in this, I give them praise. I give praise to the special effects. I thought some of the blood and gore was actually like, wow. I mean, it was more realistic than ones I've seen with budgets that were 100 times bigger than this. So yeah, mad praise on that. So, um, is there anything else you want to add for trivia or?
Nope. Yeah, that's the thing. It's fun hearing the stories. I've definitely listened to a few of these cast members give interviews. One of
Yeah.
the links I'm going to put up is a reunion of the cast
Wow.
that
Yeah.
that happened, I think, like I don't know how many, 2019, I think, so 5 years ago. And that was really fun to watch and hear their take on getting back together and chatting about the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Uh, Again, I can't. I wish I could remember a little better. Thankskilling 3, because because as far as like, you know referencing it, I probably should have rewatched it just to be able to reference it. But I had limited time this week, so I got in a rewatch of this one,
Yeah, we
and
got this one done quick.
yeah, we did. This was, folks, that's another thing. This one was a little bit harder because with this is a busy week for probably all of us. I know it is busy for Dom, and it's certainly busy for me between work and I'm hosting people tomorrow and actually doing some cooking myself. So it's I have limited time this week, but yeah, I was happy to do this one, and this one, of course, you people will be seeing it hopefully uh, on your thanks
Hopefully.
yeah on your Thanksgiving Day, or maybe after you've had a nice meal of turkey, and
Yeah, see this DR video after your
yeah,
meal.
after your meal. But although by the time they're hearing this part of it, it'll be too late.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, um, I, folks, I hope you like what we're doing here. We're having fun with it. We certainly have a lot of laughs with what we do, and we definitely enjoy it. And as far as like recommendations, please, this one was a recommendation. Feel free, whether it's a good movie, a bad movie. Um, you know, we did we did a couple of weeks ago. We did another one that was Sasquatch Sunset was a recommendation. We did Heather's, that was a recommendation. So we're very open to if somebody wants us to talk about something that they liked, whether it's a like again good movie, bad movie.
Yeah, there's
Um,
almost nothing we won't watch.
that's true. It's there's especially with our Dom and I both have weird minds, and we enjoy pretty much most everything from really good. We appreciate really good movies, and we also enjoy the really bad ones too sometimes. But yeah, please do, and if you would, please leave a like, subscribe if you would, but please leave those likes. That definitely helps. It helps the algorithm, and recommend our channel if you would. Please, we need not only the subscribers, but repost if you wouldn't mind, because we're trying to build this channel, and we definitely enjoy what we're doing. We're going to do it one way or another because Dom and I enjoy talking to each other, and we enjoy talking movies. So, in any case, um, thank you guys for watching, and we hope you have a great Thanksgiving. Dom,
Yeah,
I
have a
hope you,
great Thanksgiving, everyone.
yeah, Dom, happy Thanksgiving. And by the time
Same to
this is up
you.
there, it will be well into Thanksgiving when people are seeing this. So I think on that note, we can probably wrap this one up. So folks, again, like I said, leave that like and subscribe. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.